The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning, 1 a.m. in London, 3 a.m. in Israel, and 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. Want to take time to invite all of you to come in because you have just walked into Talk Back Live. That's the name of the show. We're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate, but that doesn't mean you could stop at New York. We're all around the world. This show is global. And of course, we're going to be here for a whole full hour, and we invite you to stay with us for that whole full hour so you can enjoy a conversation with us. We've got a lot of things to talk about, and we want you in on the conversation as well. Now, of course, a lot of you guys have been around with us for so long, you already know the protocol of the show, right? So I'm going to take time to explain to the people who may be possibly new here to the show and let them know what's happening. Now, as the host of the show, I do this each week. I get things started. I get into the prep mode, and prepping is getting started. And sooner or later, I'm going to throw out a conversation for all of us to linger on, but that doesn't mean we have to linger on to that conversation for a whole hour. That's what the show is all about. We kind of variate and make things happen for everyone. So that means we want to get you in on the show. You may have a topic that you want to talk about. And so all you have to do, if you have a cell phone, if you have a computer, be it laptop, desktop, or even a tablet with a keyboard and everything like that, all you have to do is type in whatever you want to talk about. I will see you right there on the big screen. And of course, I will entertain you. Now, the show is about entertainment and ideas. It's free exchange of opinions and ideas. And that's what we do each week. There's no hold bar. You can talk about anything you want under the sun. And if there's anything that you want to talk about in particular, don't be shy. You need no alibi. Just type it right in there and I will see you. And if it's important to you, it's got to be important to the rest of us. And all of us, you could share the conversation with all of us. Not only that, you not only get to talk to me, but of course you get to talk to other people who may be coming in as well. You see them right there and you could talk to them because a lot of people have made friends here. We got to know each other. So we became like a family of great people here. And some people are new, as I said, and some people, well, they come back again and again. Now, we want you to make sure that your friends and family know about what's happening here. So what we want you to do is get them in on the action, right? And let them know where we are. And where we are 3 different platforms. Just in case you're new, you don't know about this, we're on 3 different platforms. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And any one of those platforms will get you there. It's the same show. You can pick your favorite platform. So wherever you are, that's where we'll be, right there with you. And with that in mind, I'd just like to say that want your family and friends and relatives, everybody to know that. So what I want you to do, if you take a little time right now while I'm getting started, getting things rolling, it doesn't take you long. All you have to do is cut and paste the platform that you're watching us on right now. In other words, that's the link to wherever you are. Cut and paste that and send it out to your family and friends who may be friends of yours on your platform. And it'll get to them, and if they're online, they'll get to see it. It'll pop up. They'll know it's from you. All they have to do is just click onto that link, and it brings them directly to wherever you are. And then wherever you are, that's where we are as well. So we want you to do that right away because the more the merrier, right? The more the merrier. And if they like what they see, they like what they hear, And in the future, they'll come back again and again, just like you. So that's what we want you to do, just to take time to do that. It's a lot of things. We've got a lot of things to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, and we want you in on the action. There's so many things that we could talk about. We only have an hour. So, I mean, there's so many things to talk about. And we may get it in. That's up to you. We'll try our best to do that. Because if we had a 4-hour show, you couldn't get conversation to stop at nowhere. Conversation just goes on and on and on. So anyway, we have our conversation going on with you. So we want you to stay with us. Now, in conjunction with talking to you, we do our own little thing here because in the confines of the format, we have other things that we do as well to keep things rolling. And one of the things that we have going on is sports. And we have a show called Sports Update that's coming along. Brian Camp is the host of Sports Update. Brian hasn't been with us for a long time. Brian is on hiatus, and he'll be back soon. We talk on a lot of occasions. We talked about mostly every day. And he told me he's targeting the middle of August. That's what he's targeting. We'll have to see about that. So that gives us a little hope. That gives us a little synopsis of what he's going to do. In the middle of August, somewhere in there, maybe before, maybe a little after, we don't know. But we'll keep you informed of that when he comes in. And he's going to let us know in advance so we could kind of get you ready and get you geared up for when he's coming back. But in the meantime, we're going to take care of everything because each week he sends us sports information. And of course, we have that along. And so we're going to do that. We're going to cover for him. That's what we do around here. We cover for everyone, all of the staff. If one can't make it in, there's someone to cover what he or she couldn't do. And in this case, I'm covering for Brian. So that's coming up. Sports, there's a lot of things happening in sports too. We could talk about that. So if sports is one of your topics as well, please feel free. Let us know. We can talk that. Now, Brian is the expert in sports. Usually when he comes in, I always say, if you have any sports questions, get them ready because he's going to answer all of them. I can only tell you I'm going to do my best if you have any sports questions. But we'll muddle through it as we go along. All right. Also, what we got coming along, we have a thing called This Day in History. Now, I have a laundry list of what's happening on this day in history. And here we are, July, the very last day of July, July 31st. Now, July 31st is a historical day too, believe it or not, because something happened in the past on July 31st, and we have all of that for you. We're going to tell you what that is. That's coming up. And we'll give you all of that information coming up too. And before the show is over, we have those movies. Now, each week I go into the vault of Turner Classic Movies, and I try to find and pick out the best movies I can find that I think are well worth watching. So I pick out my picks of the week for your weekend. Well, yeah, the weekend is coming up. It's not too far away. All right, we have one more day to go before we actually go into the weekend circuit. But we want to get everything done in advance. So what I do is that I pick out some of the movies from Turner Classic Movies that I think are one of the best things to watch. And I'll pass it along to you. That's coming up later on before the show is over. It's all right here on Talk Back Live. Thank you so much again for being along with us. And just in case you're the first time listener, we always say this. All the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talk Back Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Zoom, or any other social media outlet. Okay? So that's a disclaimer that we always put out because we are always responsible for everything that goes on this show, conversation-wise, because it may not be the same feelings that the people that pick us up on the different platforms. They may not hold that same opinion. So our opinions are our opinions, and we own them all. Okay? Well, anyway, thank you so much for being along with us once again. And did I say it's the last day of July? We went through the whole month of July. We're still in the summer mode. Now, tomorrow, when we wake up, and even in some places right now are in a brand new month. But for us, where we are, we won't get there just yet. We only have a few more hours to go before we get there. And that will be the first day of August. Okay. And so we're going to linger on, hold on tight to what we have left of July. Now we're still in the summer months. All right. And August comes along, and this month, I got to tell you, really went fast. I mean, tremendously fast. But that's the way of the world. And August is going to go. Now we don't have any specific holidays in August. I don't think we don't get the next holiday until September, which would be Labor Day. All right, but we're not going to rush it. We're not going to rush it because I love the summertime. I want to hold on to the summertime as long as I can. But it is July, and we're not celebrating anything specifically in July, except we already celebrated the 4th of July, which has come and gone. It's long gone. So that's the only thing that we celebrate. But here's something that we want to draw attention to all month long. And this is the last time we're going to be telling you about it, because then it'll be a brand new one. This is the last time we'll be telling you about it. All month long, we've been talking about it. All month long, we've been featuring National Ice Cream Month. All month long. All right. And now you don't have to have a specific kind of a month to enjoy ice cream. You can enjoy all kinds. Even in the winter months, people eat ice cream. But this is a month that they set aside to acknowledge it. National Ice Cream Month. What are your favorite flavors? Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, banana. And of course, when it comes around Thanksgiving time, they have something, if you can find it, they have eggnog ice cream. Have you ever tasted eggnog ice cream? It's delicious. And sometimes it's hard. It's for the past couple of years, it's been hard to find. But I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. It's somewhere. You can look it up. You can look it up. You can call your grocery or your bodega or whatnot. Maybe they can tell you where to get it if you can't find it there. But anyway, all kinds of flavors, and it's delicious too. And ice cream always reminds me of the summertime too, because that's a good way to keep cool. We're also acknowledging National Hot Dog Month. Now, I don't suggest that you eat ice cream and hot dogs at the same time. Of course, you want to eat them separate times, right? Unless, of course, you have an iron cast stomach that allows you to do that. And even if you did have an iron cast stomach, but then to each his own. All right. And there's a lot of ways to eat hot dogs. A lot of toppings, different toppings. Everyone have it their way. It's just like ice cream. You have it your way. Whatever flavors that you like, it's right there. But yes, it's National Hot Dog Month. And when you mention ice cream and hot dogs, you think about the amusement parks. Some may be where you are. In our case, our biggest attraction is Coney Island. And, they're famous for hot dogs too. But whatever it is, or wherever you go, you can have your hot dog, you can have your ice cream, and you can have your cake and eat it too, even though they say anything about cake. But you can have all of that. So that's what we got going. National Ice Cream and National Hot Dog Month. It's all right here. And so I finished with it. I'm through with it. We don't have to talk about it anymore because we're going into another month starting tomorrow. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we're here. And you're there, and we're so glad that you're here with us. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. Again, if there's anything in particular that you want to linger on, that you want to talk about, we welcome all kinds of conversations. We welcome it because we want to make sure that everyone get a chance to express what they want to express. We want to give everybody that chance to do that. So if you have anything that you want to talk about in particular, please let's talk about it. It's right here. And people do talk about certain things. They want to talk about certain things, and we allow that. All right. Now, what other show can you go? Where else can you go and find a place that the host will say, talk about anything you want to talk about? There's no problem. We just like to have fun. on the show. As sometimes we talk about issues that are really compelling and some issues that some people don't even talk about. You know, as long as we do everything diplomatic, as long as it's all clean, it's all good. So again, if you want to talk about anything in particular, it's up to you. We enjoy your company. We always do. And we want you to have a good time with us right here on Talk Back Live. Okay? And that's what it is. We've had some weather here in New York that was really extremely hot for the past couple of days. Today, we had a little break. Tomorrow, it's even better. You know, so wherever you are, if you're someplace where it's really hot and you can get around, and maybe your neighbor next door is a senior citizen that possibly can get around. Maybe you want to knock on their door before you go out, say, yeah, I'm going to the grocery store, I'm going to the supermarket. Can I pick you up something? Can I do something for you? Because they can't get around. All right. And and speaking of that too, if you want to cool off, if your air conditioning is not working properly, there are a lot of cooling centers. I know we have a lot here in New York, and I gotta say, one of the great places is the public library. You can go in there, you can cool off and study at the same time. Okay, so make sure you do that. Take care of your neighbors, and try to stay as cool as you possibly can. But I'm kind of glad that the weather is getting a little cooler on the cool side. I mean, I love the warm weather. I'm not complaining about it, but I also like to get that break, which we get. Okay, and as I said, Brian is not here with us. Brian is on hiatus, and Brian is our sports guy, Brian Camp, and he always brings us the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And again, those of you who may have questions of sports, I'll do my best to help you out. I'll do my very best. I'm not an expert on it, but I can do my very best. I do like sports, but that doesn't make me an expert. It only says that I like sports. I love football and baseball and all of those things that come in, and I watch all of those games. That doesn't make me an expert. Brian has all the answers for you, but I'll do my best to answer. And if I can't find the answer tonight, I will call Brian and get the answer tomorrow for you on the coffee hour. How about that? All right, so let's get started with sports and see what we got on tap here. Let's start off with this. Former WWE CEO Vince McMahon is accused of causing a crash on a Connecticut highway that wrecked his Bentley and damaged two other cars. McMahon was cited for reckless driving and following too closely after last Thursday morning's crash on the Merrick Parkway in Westport. No one was injured, and he was released on a $100 bond and ordered to appear in Stamford Superior Court on August 26. One of the biggest holdouts in the NFL, that's the preseason, has come to an end. Cincinnati Bengals star defensive end Trey Hendrickson, the league's leader in sacks a year ago, has agreed to end his holdout amid a contract dispute. The only problem is Hendrickson is still without a contract extension. He's been looking for in Cincinnati for the offseason. Hendrickson, committal to a training camp, though, could perhaps expedite the process to give him the ink long term. Hendrickson was the final player in the league who held out of training camp as others like Washington Commanders receiver Terry McLaurin, who stood their ground for a bit before joining their teammates. Luis Gill is expected to make his season debut for the New York Yankees on Sunday at Miami after missing 4 months with a lat strain. The reigning AL Rookie of the Year struck out 7 over 4 and a third innings Tuesday for AAA Scranton Wilkes Barre. Gill threw 50 to 75 pitches for strikes, allowing 1 run and 3 hits in his 4 minor league rehabilitation start. Injured in the spring training, the right-hander is lined up to a return this weekend against the Marlins after pitching 14 and a third innings in the minors. Juan Soto left the New York Mets 7-1 loss against the San Diego Padres on Tuesday night at Petco Park after fouling a ball off his left foot. Soto was removed from the game with what the Mets described as a foot contusion, and it happened during the fourth inning in Soto's second at bat of the game while batting against Padres starting pitcher Ryan Bergen. Soto finished the at bat grounding out to Padres second baseman Jake Cronenworth, and Soto was then pulled from the game. Jeff McNeil moved to center field while Tyrone he left from center field to right field while Tyrone Taylor entered the game to McNeil's vacated sports center field spot. Coco Gauff made a winning return to competition on Tuesday night when, though some of serving woes came back with her. Gauff had to overcome 23 double faults to win for the first time since the French Open final, outlasted fellow American Danielle Collins 7-5, 4-6, 7-6 in the second round of the National Bank Open. And Gauff hadn't played since losing in the first round at Wilmington and appeared to have made a change to a serving grip during that time that she was away. As she struggled in during the match, hitting some serves that were well long and some others were soft and easily pounced on by the powerful Collins. Now, as far as your sports are concerned, the games that you're looking for, whether it's baseball or whatever games that are out there, and you're looking for your favorite team and seeing where they're playing, please check your local listings. They'll be waiting for you, and you can get that information. Because a lot of people, they have their games, they're all set up and they're ready to go. It's particularly baseball. You could do that every day, or you can even go on Google, and you can pick up that information real quick. So check your local listings and find out where your favorite team is playing and who they're playing. And good luck to you. And those of you who do like baseball, I hope your team is doing very well. This is the baseball season, and before you know it, October will be here, and they'll be playing October baseball. And you know what October baseball is. That's the World Series, right? But I hope your team is doing well for the season, whoever they are. Mine, on the other hand, the New York Yankees, well, I gotta put it this way to you. They won last night, and they won a game today. So that's pretty good. So they won 2 in a row so far. I was worried about them. I don't know. They have to win a string of games in order to climb back to the top where they are supposed to be. And you remember in the beginning of the season, they were up there, up in first place, and they were holding the position for a long time. And now they're trying to reach back and reclaim the position that they were in. And it's hard to do right now because you think about July is over. Well, for us, it's practically over. Tomorrow is a brand new month. And then they have that 1 month to go, and then they're getting ready for September to wrap things up. And then by the time the tail end of September comes and October, the beginning of October, they're going to be playing the World Series. But I'm urging the Yankees just to do what you're supposed to be doing. Keep going. You won 2 in a row already. I'm happy about that, which, by the way, it's been a long time since they won consecutive games, and that's the reason why they fell short. Now, the last time I looked back, they were, I think, 5.5 games out of first place. I got to recheck that to make sure maybe it's better now that they won those games. So they're winning this. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to linger on it too much because I don't want to jinx it. If this is the start of something good for the New York Yankees, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm waiting for them to do it and get set. You know, so I do hope that your team is doing better. Again, check your local listings for the time and place where your favorite teams will be playing. I want to take time out to thank Brian for delivering us the latest developments in today's world of sports. Not personally, but he sends us each week information on what's happening in today's world of sports. And I really appreciate that. I want to thank all of you for being out there. And I see a lot of you come out on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. We want to thank you for being along with us. Now, I want to relay something to you guys. You know, I always indulge in conversation with each and every one of you. I love doing that. I really love doing that because this way I get a chance to acknowledge you personally, and I love doing that too. And you know, why can't we be friends, right? Why can't we be friends? Now, here's a good. I want to make sure that everyone's comfortable. Now, a lot of people, especially if you're here for the very first time, and a lot of you are, right? Uh, you're watching the show, but you don't want to indulge in conversation just yet for whatever reason. You may be one of the people say, "No, you know, I don't want to be put out there just yet. I want to make sense of the show," and I can understand that. You're here for the first time, and you want to just get a grip and get a hang on how this thing goes, and you just want to watch. Now, I see you when you come in. I do see you. You know, I see you when you come in, but I will not say anything to you, acknowledge you, unless, of course, you say something first. Okay? Because that's out of respect. You know, like I said, you may be one of the people saying, I hope he doesn't, you know, rope me in there. I'm not ready for conversation. I don't want my name out there just yet. Don't worry about it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Only if you say something first, then I will say hi and acknowledge you. And then when you say something, if it's just a hi, that's okay too. But again, you know, it's more, you can do anything you want. You could talk about another subject. Yeah, we'll pull in, you know, I rope in another subject from you guys if you want to say something in particular. You know, we rope you in conversation. All right. Other than that, don't worry about it. It's okay. Um, we're all good with it. And but we want you to know that we respect your privacy. And again, if there's anything that you want to say anyway, feel free at any time at all. Okay, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And we're talking back live to you, and we talk back live to you each and every week at this time. Now, you may be in a different time zone. It's uh, it's nearly it's nearly 8:30 here in New York, nearly, and it's not the same. It could be different from you, maybe in a different part of the country, different part of the in another city, in another time zone. You may be 3 hours behind me on the West Coast. You never know. So look at your clock, you know, at the top of the hour that you're on right now. Each week, that's when we come on in your area. So just keep that in mind. Well, you know, I learned something today, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you learned about it too. You know, uh, former Vice President Kamala Harris is to publish a memoir, and I'm looking forward to this. And the name of the memoir is called 107, 107 Days. That's a memoir about her 2024 campaign presidential run. And if you're wondering when that's coming out, well, it's coming out pretty soon. It's due to be released next month. In this case, that would be in September. Now, they didn't give us an actual release date, but we know it's going to be in September. And she came out and she promoted it. I saw it today. She came out and promoted it today. So that's called 107 Days. That's a memoir. Okay. And of course, we already know about her campaign, but she may add more. It's like this is like behind the scenes. And these may be materials that she'll be talking about that we don't know about. And she's releasing it. All right. So I look forward to it when it comes out. You know, maybe I can get a promotional copy. Maybe. If anybody's listening, maybe I can get a promotional copy and go right through it and tell you a little bit about it. But but the case is she wants you to buy it, and I understand that. But if I had the promotional copy, I could talk about it lightly without giving a lot of things away. Anyway, even if I don't get a promotional copy, that's not what I'm here for. I'm going to get the book anyway, and I'm pretty sure you can buy it at your favorite bookstore. Okay. I'm not selling books here. I think this is just a good thing to talk about. There's something that I think maybe first one. Well, I would love to talk to her about this book. 107 Days. That's a memoir. Okay, that's coming up pretty soon. I've been keeping my eye and ears open too, because we already know a lot of these government programs and institutions are being shut down. You heard some of the colleges were being threatened to be defunded because a certain person doesn't have their way. And a lot of them, just failed. And a lot of them just decided, well, we're going to give in, we're going to cave in. Some people haven't. And I'm talking about some of the law firms, some of the big colleges, Columbia to name one, Harvard stood ground. They're still up there and they stood their ground. And nothing knocked them down. They said, no, we're not about it. We're not going to do it. And so they're still standing strong. And I believe they're going to stand strong with or without, if you know what I mean, with or without. And that's the way Americans have to be. We were all known as people of strong stock where we come from. You may come from a family with strong stock. Nothing can knock you over. Not even a boulder can knock you over. Strong stock. I know I was brought up in a family where we just didn't take it. You can dish it out, but if we didn't like it, we didn't take it. You know, and that was passed down. That was passed down. That's like hereditary for me, and it was just passed down. And and maybe that's why I do a show like this, because I'm not afraid to voice my opinion. I'm very vocal about a lot of things, especially if it bothers me, if I don't like it, I want to talk about it. And for those people who agree with me, that's fine. For the people who don't agree with me, that's fine. I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm good with people who don't agree with me. I'm good with people who agree with me. I'm just good with that. I don't care. But I just like people to know that nothing changes my mind. When I'm set on something, I stay there. And nothing you can say, nothing you can do can change that. And I'm a kind of person that's not for sale. You can't even buy me. If you offered me $1 billion to do something that I didn't agree with, I would tell you to take your your $1 billion and shove it. I love the sound of $1 billion, but if I don't agree why I'm going to earn that $1 billion, then take it away. Take it away. I don't need it. I never had $1 billion before anyway, so I wouldn't miss it. Anyway, but I said all of that to say that I've been keeping my eyes on a lot of things, particularly the media part of everything. You heard me talk about they're closing down some of these radio stations, these communication stations that people actually need, like the Voice of America, PBS, NPR, and NOAA Radio, which is a weather radio, and all funded by the government. All right, so I'm still keeping an eye out on that. I think their programs are still going standard right now. I haven't heard anything latest, and of course, anyone out there knows or have heard anything that I may not know about just yet about how are these operations, are they still carrying on their regular programs? I believe they are. I haven't heard anything to the contrary, but I keep an eye on Voice of America. Now, Voice of America is one of the stations. It's over 80 years old, and they've been communicating all the time. I discovered the Voice of America when I was in high school, right? Because I used to listen to them back in those days. I used to pick up the Voice of America via shortwave radio. And there was a particular show that I used to listen to religiously called the Voice of America Breakfast Show. Religiously, I used to listen to it because I used to like what they say. They had it was a show that they would come on and have casual conversation and music. And music. The DJ was on the air, but there was casual conversation, not only casual conversations, but they were like interviews and news of the day, all of those things. And I discovered that when I was in high school, and I loved it. That show is no longer around, but there are other great shows on Voice of America, and they come on. I think what 40 something different languages. You can follow. You know, and so I say, yeah, keep an eye on that. I'm keeping an eye on that as PBS. Now, PBS has been around for a long time. PBS promotes a lot of documentaries and, of course, children programs too. What do you think Sesame Street came from? We had Sesame Street for the kids and all of those things that they threatened to take off. And they were meaningful things. They may not be meaningful to you, but they are meaningful to little kids and their parents as well. To keep these shows on the air. I remember the old electric company. I remember all of those things, you know. So I'm keeping an eye on PBS, and we want to make sure all of these places they all stay intact. They all stay intact. And NPR. Now NPR is basically news, and everyone get their news from NPR. I don't care where you go, you can find it. Worldwide news everywhere. And I remember some of the shows they used to have there. Now, I don't know if they have this particular show on the air. It was called, I can't remember the show off. It was I guess it was a 2 hour show. And they used to do it, maybe not live, but they pre recorded it live. The Prairie Home Companion. Remember, anybody remembers that show? The Prairie Home Companion was a great show, which, by the way, launched a movie called The Prairie Home Companion with the original host. I think he retired, and so I don't know if the show still exists. Maybe they're in reruns. I don't know, because sometimes these programs like NPR, they do rerun programs just like PBS. They used to rerun all of the Lawrence Welk shows. He's been dead for years, but they used to run his shows, and maybe they still do in certain cities. They still run the show every week, particularly on a Saturday when it was originally on, right? But NPR, when they had the Prairie Home Companion, that was a good show. Also, they had other great talk shows on there, and they were great shows. And I'm not sure of their roster just yet, but I go back every now and then to check up on and see what they have, and they do it. And they have NPR stations. You don't have to look far to find an NPR station. As a matter of fact, if you don't have a radio, which a lot of people say, what is a radio? I don't know what a radio is. And it's usually the young kids that say that. But if you can't get to a radio, you have your computer, you go on npr.com and you can hear it live. All kinds of great news. So I look forward to that staying around too. Also, here's something that's totally important. And something, I want to see how it pans out because we're in the hurricane season right now. And that's when NOAA Radio comes in. NOAA Radio is a station that it's all around the country and all around the cities. I still tune into it. As a matter of fact, I have the app on my phone. So when I want to check out the weather, let's say, for instance, if you're sailing, you want to do some sailing, you want to hear how the tides are running, where the weather is happening. Is it going to be a thunderstorm? Should you sail? Should you not sail? That's when it comes in. It also gives you information that could avoid a lot of things. Let's say we know there's a big storm coming up in Florida. No, I'm not saying it is, but I'm just giving an example. If there's like a big hurricane coming in, NOAA Radio is the place to go to listen to see where it's coming from, how strong the winds are coming, whether you should evacuate. They give you all of that in advance. And yet the government wants to take that away as well. So I'm keeping an eye on all four of these important radio outlets. They're very important. They're very important to me, as a matter of fact, and they should be to you. And as the hurricane season just comes along, and it's not over yet, it's not over. I think it gets more intense as the months go along, especially around September. You know, and this is the thing that's very important. NOAA radio is very, very important for people who live in areas where they have houses, and you don't want to see houses drift in the water and people losing their homes. A lot of these things could be avoided. And even if you lose property, you could save lives by listening to NOAA radio. It saves lives. And so we don't want the government to mess with that either. And while talking about government, Medicaid and Medicare, you already know they're trying to get that done. Now, when that kicks in, we don't know. That may take a little time before it all kicks in. But hey, listen, miracles happen. Things could be reverted. And I only pray that that we come out of this whole thing for the next 4 years. You know, hey, it's that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's I should say next 3 years, because we just about ate up the first year already. Okay, it's that time to go back in time. And on this day in history, 1948, U.S. President Harry Truman dedicates Idlewild Field, which is now Kennedy International Airport in New York City. On this day in history, in 1955, KRNT, which is now KCCI TV Channel 8 in Des Moines, Iowa. It's a CBS station that begins broadcast for the first time. On this day in history, in 1959, Cliff Richard and the Shadows have their first British #1 single with Living Doll. That's the best-selling British single of 1959. On this day in history, in 1960, Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam, calls for a black state. On this day in history, 1965, cigarette advertising is banned on British TV. Back in 1969 as well, Elvis Presley returns to the concert stage for the first time in over 8 years, starting a 4-week 57-show run at the newly opened International Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Back in 1988, the last Playboy Club in the U.S. closes at Lansing, Michigan. Back in 2018, Rihanna becomes the first Black woman to appear on the cover of British Vogue, a September issue. John Erickson, he's a mechanical inventor. He was born on this day in 1803. And he was born in Sweden. He died March 8th in 1889 at the age of 85 years old. In 1918, jazz pianist Hank Jones was born in Vicksburg, Mississippi. He died in 2010. On this day in history, 1931, jazz guitarist Kenny Burrell was born in Detroit, Michigan. He's 94 today. On this day in history, in 1938, singer Bonnie Brown of the Browns. And those of you who remember, they did their songs, I Take the Chance and The Three Bells. And she was born in Sparkman, Arkansas. She died in 2016. On this day in history, 1959, jazz guitarist Stanley Jordan was born in Chicago, Illinois. He's 66 years old today. Actor Wesley Snipes was born on this day in 1962. He was born in Orlando, Florida. He's 63 today. In 1966, actor Dean Cain was born in Mount Clemens, Michigan. He's 59 years old today. In 1940 even, actress Loretta Young weds advertising executive Tom Lewis at the chapel of St. Paul's Church in Westwood. In 1951, Ray Charles weds Eileen Williams in Georgia, and they got divorced in 1952. In 1954, television personality and songwriter Steve Allen weds actress Jane Meadows. in the Waterford, Connecticut. In 1976, singer Natalie Cole weds songwriter Marvin Yancey. And they got divorced in 1980. 1985, Bee Gees member Robin Gibb weds author and artist Dwyna Murphy. In 1999, actor Patrick Dempsey weds makeup artist Gillian Fink in Maine. In 2010, R&B singer and songwriter Alicia Keys weds rapper Swiss Betts. In 2018, actor David Hasselhoff marries his third wife, Haley Roberts. They got married in Italy. In 2024, rapper Cardi B files for divorce from her husband, fellow rapper Offset, for the second time. In 1964, country singer Jim Reeves dies in an airplane crash. In 1970, jazz saxophonist Booker Ervin dies from kidney failure at the age of 39 years old. In 1986, jazz pianist Teddy Wilson dies of stomach cancer at the age of 73 years old. And finally, 2010, Mitch Miller, back when he had his show Sing Along with Mitch, dies at the age of 99 years old. And that's what's happening on this day in history. And those of you who may know something that's happening on this day in history, and you would like to tell us about it, of course, so we would like to know about it, because maybe we overlooked it, or maybe we didn't know about it. Whatever my producers give me, I just read it off right there. But there may be other things that you may know about on this day in history. Pass it along with us. Type it in there. I'll see you right there on the big screen. And of course, I will acknowledge it. Okay. Those of you who want to get in touch with me, because some of you guys, as you say, as I always say, you may not want to get involved in conversation, but you may wonder, well, how can I get in touch with you anyway so I can just, unload on you? Oh, sure, you can do that. As a matter of fact, I have an email address and a telephone number, which I'll pass along to you. Okay, whenever you're ready, you set? I'm going to give you the email address first. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Now spell Allan, A-L-L-A-N. You got that? A-L-L-A-N, Frank Allan Prod. Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for productions. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Now, the telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Now, when you contact me, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That means we never sleep. At least the phone lines and the emails, they never sleep. Everyone else does. But at any time, you can contact us. And it doesn't have to be for any particular reason. You can contact us because you could say, well, I'm just calling just to say hi, or I'm just emailing just to say hi. Or I watched the show and I think I have a good idea about the show that I want to relay, just to relay to you. This way, maybe you might want to use it, the idea, or maybe you have a birthday coming up, some kind of a special event in your community that you want us to broadcast. We can do that. Anything at all. We just like to hear from you, right? And keep that information, all that information I just gave you, keep it in your electronic devices, such as your cell phone, your laptop, your desktop, your tablet, okay? All of those, any kind of information that you have on there, just keep it in there. As a matter of fact, put it in all of them. So just in case one is not handy, the other is. And whenever you want to use it, just pop it right up, okay? So I'll give you that address one more time. The email address is frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. I want to say hello to Mary Reed out from Brooklyn, New York. She's watching us tonight on YouTube. Mary, thank you so much for being along with us. It's always a delight to have you aboard with us. And for the rest of you who are joining us, we like you on YouTube, on Instagram, uh, and people are popping up on Instagram, but I'll just say hi. I'm not going to pick out any names because they didn't say anything first. So I just want to be the one to give them the respect and just say hi. I know you're there, but I just want to say hi and no more, because I don't want to. If you know, like I said earlier, you may not want to be dragged out there. You may not want your name to be dragged out there, but that's okay. So I'll just say hi to all of you guys. But Mary, she said hi, good evening, and howdy, howdy, howdy to you too. Mary, I'm so glad to have you aboard with us. Okay, now I want to talk about the Epstein's file. I well, it's the biggest thing in the news now. I'll talk about it a little bit, but if you want me to shut up, you give me some kind of I don't know, topic that I could linger on. But until you do that, it's the big thing now. People are still, even the Republicans, they want that information out there. And each day, each passing day that comes along, they still talk about it, the Epstein files. And you heard about the girl that was involved, as the taco man said, "Oh, Epstein took the girl away from me." But, it's like they said that he was on the list. And they're trying to find out what's on the list. Okay. Now, they say the taco man is on the list because one of his staff has already told him. But he doesn't want to talk about it. But in the meantime, he says that the whole Epstein case is a hoax. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. I didn't do it. The Democrats did it. Obama did it. Biden did it. John F. Kennedy did it. Abraham Lincoln did it. I didn't do it. It's a hoax. It's fake news. It's fake news. And it's a witch hunt. It's a hoax. And this is what he does. But we know it's not a hoax. And the American people know it's not a hoax because they're still waiting for them to release those files. What are you hiding? So on this show, I will keep reminding you guys that you guys better be more proactive and get out there and say, hey, we want those files. We want to see what's happening on those files. And how dare you want to pardon this chick that's in jail right now? What's her name? Glenn Lane? Ghislaine, I think Ghislaine Maxwell. Is that how you pronounce it? Ghislaine or Glenn? Ghislaine Maxwell. And she was one of Jeff Epstein's counterparts, I guess. I don't know what kind of exclusive relationship they have with each other, but they got locked up at the same time. The only thing is that he was supposed to allegedly killed himself. Did he really? I don't know. They say he killed himself, but did he really? Who knows? Stranger things that happen. They said he killed himself, but who knows? Did he really kill himself? The only thing that we know that he's not here, and he's not here to tell a story. He's only resurrected in one way: is that everybody, the public resurrect him. They say, hey, let's get him out of the grave so we can get the files. Obviously, he can't talk about it, but in a small little way, he's resurrected. Okay. But it's a hoax. It's a total hoax. It's fake news. It's fake news. They ought to put an accordion. He plays an accordion. It's fake news. Yeah, it's fake news. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. It's a total hoax. Hokey hokey. I got I got movies that I want to bring to you. I have two this week. Two movies this week. And they are classics. They are classics. Two of my favorite kind of movies, as a matter of fact. One is definitely my favorite, and this is the one called Imitation of Life. Now, Imitation of Life was a the one that I'm talking right now is a remake. Now, the original Imitation of Life went back to 1933. I believe it was 1933, 1933, 34, 32, something like that. I believe it was 1933. And I saw it. And you know, I'm not good at remakes. I don't like remake movies, but I grew up on this one from 1959 with Lana Turner, John Gavin, and Sandra Dee. And this is the one that's coming on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Imitation of Life. This is the one that's in color. And the original one, I saw it, but I prefer the remake. And you know, I don't like remakes, right? But this is the one I grew up on. When I was a kid, I saw this movie. I didn't know there was one before it. So maybe that's why I like it so much. All right. So anyway, that's coming on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then here's another one. Get ready. Pull the money out of your pockets because we're going to have breakfast at Tiffany's. From 1961, Audrey Hepburn, George Papa, and Patricia Neal. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can catch that Sunday, though. And it's a reasonable time at 8 p.m. Eastern. But listen, if you can't watch these movies in real time, you could always DVR them. If you still have your cable box, DVR them and watch them later at your own time convenience. Now, when you go to Turner Classic Movies, there may be other movies that I didn't mention. Not that I don't like them, it's just that these are my picks of the week. These two are my picks of the week. But they may be other movies. That's why I always send you to Turner Classic Movies after I give you everything that I have. And this way you can say, okay, I'm going to add that to my list. I saw that one before. I like it. I'm going to add that to my bucket list too. And you can do that. And you can DVR them if you don't get to see them in real time as well. But they're there for you. And while you're at it, since you still have your cable, you could still go on demand and watch all of the free movies. All of the free movies are there as well. They are. I kid you not. They're all there. And they're from A to Z. They go down the list, down the line. And you can pick out whatever you want and you can watch them. And then you have the pay-per-view movies, you know, movies that are in the theater now. You know, you have these movies that are in the theater now and you can actually watch them in your home. You have to pay for them, of course, a little more, but you pay for it and you can pop your own popcorn, eat your own hot dogs. You don't have to pay the whatever they charge for the movies today. Watch it in your very own home. And then you have great documentaries, sporting events, children's programs, and you have great documentaries. And all of the network icons are there too. You can press onto them and find out what's going on. You like those Lifetime movies? I love them. They have an icon for that. Click on and see what's available there. And so a lot of these sporting events, by the way, if you watch them, if you don't get a chance to watch them in real time, you can go there on demand and watch them sometimes without commercial interruption. All right. So that's what you want to do. So you got so many things to choose from. And of course, being that you're so resourceful, you have all of these streaming apps that people watch today. And there are just so many. You know, you have Netflix, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, all of them. They're right there. Okay. So there you go. All right. So let me give you these movies once again. I think you're going to like them. This one is called Imitation of Life. This is the remake, but this is my favorite remake. Imitation of Life from 1959. Lana Turner, John Gavin, and Sandra Dee. You can check that out Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Turner Classic Movies. And then it's Breakfast at Tiffany's with Audrey Hepburn, George Papa, and Patricia Neal. That's on Turner Classic Movies, and that's at 8 p.m. Eastern. Take a gander at them. Let me know how you like them. They're pretty good movies. Because I stare you no wrong. All right. And let me know how you like them. Put a note on my desk. So when I pick it up on Monday, I can see it. All right. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for me. Mary, you're leaving. I'm leaving too. Let's walk out the door together, arm in arm. All of them. Let's grab each other's arm and let's walk out the door. But listen, before we go, I want to tell you we're going to be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern because the name of that show is called The Coffee Hour. I'm going to be around there with sports. We'll be covering for Brian with the latest developments into today's world of sports on Sports Update. And we'll have coffee and donuts, the whole 9 yards, and we'll meet together and have a good time. Okay, how about that? And then meet me back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Me, you, sports, the whole 9 yards. We got it all for you. Okay, until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful morning, good afternoon, good evening, and by all means, a pleasant good night. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allan. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.